So as you guys have already seen today, access bars and the questions and tools of access consciousness are a very different way of being with bodies. They invite something totally different. So for our next segment, we have 4 amazing certified facilitators with access consciousness. They're going to talk about a totally different kind of self-care and way of being with your body. So we'll go off now to Katerina Valentin and an awesome group of people.
So we all work with bodies and self-care in all kinds of different ways. And I would say that for all of us, bars is one of our absolute favorite ways. And we all have other ones as well. So if in addition to bars, what is your guys' favorite self-care?
Well, one of the ways I love to celebrate self-care is by every day more and more allowing and exploring the difference I be, and also celebrate that with other people. Because one of the ways we drive ourselves crazy is by trying to be like other people and by pretending we are like other people. So that is literally something, if you compare yourself with other people or try to be like someone or try to fit in, like I used to do that, I used to try that, and it's a straight way to, being sad or depressed and not happy. So self-care truly starts with, where am I different? How am I different? And how do I see the world like no one else? Like, how do you, like in your workplace, where do you see possibilities? Where do you see how things could be different and no one else would see? And what if you don't wait for other people to see that the way you see it, but acknowledge you see the things that you see, or the way you create a relationship, or the way you create future, your life, everything. What if you find your unique way of doing so rather than waiting for other people to see it the same way as you? So that difference is one element of self-care that I love to explore more and more every single day.
Yeah. And now we don't have an echo anymore. Thank you for fixing it, Susanna. Kalpana.
Yes, thank you, Susanna. Thank you, Katerina. Lovely to be here. Well, for me, self-care is so much also about the body. And this is what is so beautiful with the bars. It's including the body, but also all the mind stuff that we do kind of using our mind. And self-care is also really, what if you can give yourself time without it having to have a purpose? We are so trained to be effective and to be useful and to be doing stuff and be productive. And we put so much pressure on our bodies by being that way. Self-care is really taking care of yourself by being with yourself. And bars is a beautiful way of being with yourself. And every time I get my bars run, I wake up and I go, oh my God, I can be even more relaxed. I wasn't that relaxed before, or I was so, when I get cranky or busy. And self-care is also this invitation to be present with you. And everything that Susanna said comes with that, like where you're allowing yourself to be different, where you don't have to compare, where you don't have to convince people that what you're doing is the right thing. Caring for yourself is where you can be you. And then from that space, you start to walk in the world with people interacting. And that space of peace that shows up then is very infectious and very beautiful to see how that can impact and inspire other people.
Yeah, not only it's like self-care for you, then it's infectious to everyone around us.
Exactly.
Søren, what do you want to add?
Hello. So, for someone like me, I grew up in a world where it was all about sports and it was all about how to move and do it in the right way to kind of train my body to function the way I was told it was supposed to function. And it never really worked for me. And what I found was that I really got bored. So one of the things I really started doing is ask myself, hey, in what ways can I move today that would be fun? Instead of, I had so much rightness, like I was so right in how I was supposed to move, that basically killed my excitement and my joy with it. So for me, it's really taking that time and just look at what do I respond to? What do I see other people do where I go, oh, that looks really fun. Like, how can I go and do that? Where can I find it? Do I just go do it? And it was frustrating for a while because I had to change all the time. But what if that's part of the fun of it? Really just be honest with yourself of the way I'm moving, is that still fun for me? And if not, what's next? What could be also fun?
And it's interesting how all the things that you've all said, they are tied together. It goes from the question and it goes from, being you. One of the biggest, I think, self-care for me is actually not doing what I'm supposed to do and doing what I know that I would like to do that day. Like, it can be take a walk in the forest or move, or not going anywhere, not doing anything, because I spent so much of my life to fulfill what I thought I was supposed to do to be right or to fit in, that when I started to actually ask what would be caring for me, what would my body like today, what would I like to do today, it is so different, but it's such a freedom in that. And it's such a completely different nurturing when I start asking questions of my body and me, what I would like to do. So that, I think that's one of the greatest self-care changes in my life, is actually starting to find out what I desire and what I require that day, in those 10 seconds, that hour, whatever we're at. And we don't have a lot of time. This is like a quickie self-care session, but there's one question that I'm wondering. So if somebody's watching this right now, and they can be in all kinds of different times of their day, what would be one thing that they could do in addition to getting their bars run? Because hopefully there's somewhere where they can get their bars run. But what is another thing that they could do today to care for them?
Well, one thing that we all can practice every day is having fun and getting out of wrongness. Like this world so promotes you needing to be wrong, and you're kind of right when you're wrong. When you're not believing in yourself, and when you look for answers in other people and experts, because other people, I'm sure they know it better. That's what we've been fed with. So we've been cultivating this, wrongness most of our lives. And it never takes us far. It always makes us look at the problems, at the difficulties, at what else do we need to fix? But what if there's nothing to fix anymore? What if there's not, what if the purpose of living is not about getting over your wrongness or getting over your problems, but discovering the strongness and the capacities behind what you have decided is wrong? And that is something, and you don't need to worry about how do I get there. It's just what if you go, that's what I would like. I would like to worry less about me being wrong and not fitting in. I would like to discover the strongness behind the wrongness and the capacities. I don't get it yet. I cannot see it, but I am asking for this. So what if today is the day where you ask for what is the strongness behind all my wrongnesses? And you don't have to worry about the how, just ask for it and let the universe show you the different ways where you can discover what is truly hiding behind all that wrongness, what capacities are waiting for you to be discovered. So that's what I would like to invite the world to.
I like it.
Beautiful. I love what Soren said about asking the body to move. And this is one of the things that I love a lot. And, you might notice is that if you do an activity like climbing or running, at that moment, you just forget. You forget that you're wrong. You forget that your life is a mess. You forget that you have all these bills to pay. You forget everything because you're so present. And movement for me is really a way to take care of myself and be with myself. And a lot of times when I'm busy with something, or I have something that I have to that is occupying my mind, and I go move, I get all these ideas. I get super inspired. I get all this peace and space and energy. Because a lot of times we think if we move, we're going to get tired, but you will notice that all this energy gets unlocked by moving, and that gives you so much more energy to go into your life for that day. So movement, whatever that is, that can be swimming, that can be walking, that can be just standing outside in the sun. Ask your body, like Soren said, hey body, what would you like to do? And you'll suddenly see an advert and it would say rowing, and you're like, I've never gone rowing, let's go find out. See what movement allows you to be with you in a different way, where you allow your body to contribute to you and to your energy source.
And I just have to add to that, because when you were starting to talk, one of the things that Susanna mentioned was fun, right? Do something fun. But what I really get is also, for me, it's been looking, not something useful. Like everything always had to be useful. Like even if I moved my body, it would have to be because that was physically good for me. And I was like training and getting better and stronger. But just like dancing for me has been that something that's completely not useful. I'm just dancing. It's not doing anything. I'm just doing it for fun. I can do it all alone in my living room. And I love it. And it makes me so happy because it has no use. It is only for the joy of moving my body.
There's no goal. There's no effect.
No goal, nothing. Yeah, that. I think that is one of the things. If you guys want to try something today, do something just for fun, for no other reason. Do you want to add something very quickly? You have 1 minute.
Yes. Oh, yes. And I love what you guys just said. And it's also with that, if you go do something like that, start acknowledging what it is your body is being with you, because it allows you to move. It allows you to dance. It allows you to laugh. It allows you to taste and all these things. And what I found is really that thing of when we start acknowledging stuff like that, it grows and it becomes so much more enjoyable to be alive, like to actually live.
And that's a beautiful way to end, because really the body is a sensory organism that allows us to experience life. And what greater self-care, isn't it, that actually start using the body as that sensory organism to totally become fully alive and experience everything. So thank you, everyone, for this super short dive into self-care and what else is possible. Now I'm going to get my bars run.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.